Today marks 389 days share lessons I learn and continue to learn with you. My hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and will empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today speak about empowering words. And that's probably the best topic for new employees, maybe new business partners, maybe new teammates, maybe peers. There's a lot of things that a lot of people come and go in your team. Maybe they want to stay. And I think that a lot of times they come and go because we do not speak encouragement in them. We speak maybe disappointment. So the way how we communicate, the words that we use when a person coming, because one thing is that very, very important is that the harshness of your language and the feedback and charisma and really focusing on the development on the person will develop over time. You're not able to really from the get-go say this is a person you need to understand everything from the get-go. No, I think that is very, very important to understand where they are. And I think that's probably one of the key aspects is understanding okay, where I was as well. But again, where I was is a little bit different as well. What kind of skill set does it bring to the table? Because if I was bringing, let's say that skill set is from 1 to 10, and you were bringing already at 7 level or 8, and that's supposed to expect that a person who is coming out from outside, who is at that skill set number 5, will execute at the same level as number 7. So being able to understand where people are is very, very essential because I think that is there are some universal truths about how to support new teammate, new employee, just to make sure that we're able to really bring the best out of them rather than the worst. Because I think that the way how we will choose to speak with the other person, or even ourselves, will dictate how what we bring out. Number one is first impressions echo loudly. First impressions echo loudly. So I think that the first month, first 2 months, first 3 months, especially first week, really the managers, leaders are able to show what kind of leadership do they have, what do they have, what kind of values do they carry. Because it's quite easy to understand when a person like, oh, like you should already should supposed to know that. That actually creates a lot of fear, doubt, and of course the person starts to really figure things out by themselves. But that could potentially lead to mistakes, more mistakes. I think at the beginning it makes sense that the person asking too much more questions than later on. If you are repeating the same over and over again and over again, of course you'll be able to really look into that. But the person is asking first for the first time something, you're not supposed to say like, oh, like, read it in the manual. That's everything is in the manual. Because I think that's there's a positive words, yeah, like for sure, like let's work through it, just find out and as you know, there's a positive. Let's figure it out right now because I know that this is what's important for you right now. And this negative words will be really will create a lot of doubts, fears, and of course that creates negative environment. And what that negative environment creates turnover. And people say like, why our teams such as massive turnover? And I think that a lot of times it's just how people really has first impression because first impression echo loudly because after that probably it will be even compounded the situation. Number two, clarity beats assumption. And it means that I think that we need to understand that when a person really wants to develop something, we were supposed to be able to really work with that person a little bit longer rather than giving them information and say like, this is all you need to do, this is all you need to understand, and just go read and follow that process. I think that is great for some people, but for some people it's not. It means that we need to understand who you hire, what you bring that person on, because some people are listeners. They hear information, and they when they hear information, when they see information, they get information very, very fast and very quick. But when they read, maybe they are slower to comprehend. Maybe the reading is the weak point. So rather than saying that if this person is not able to understand, we're able to say like, oh, maybe this person needs to learn differently. How I could again, this is a part of leadership. I think true leaders understand okay, like I need to adjust my leadership based on the person. Because managers are like, okay, this person needs to align with what I need to really teach. Leaders are like, how I could align with this person that he could learn the most, that he could be most valuable for the company. And I think that for the team, I think this is a beautiful thing. And I learned from one of my mentors as well, and he said to me that you are too selfish. You're looking how other people will align with you, but we need to ask ourselves how we are able to align ourselves. And this is very, very powerful. I learned it, and I think that is a lot of people get stuck in that. Number three, psychological safety is fuel. That means that if a person feels judged, they will never try to really take risks, implement new things. They will play it safe. I think that is again partly that's why some companies succeed with innovation, some do not. I think partly is psychological safety. Psychological safety really to innovate and be encouraged and be appreciated for all the things that you try for the company. But if you have been judged, or if you can do something differently, you can really save the time on doing your thing rather than really innovation. I think there is space and time to do innovation. But at the same time, I think that we need to be able to create that psychological safety from the get go. And I think that psychological safety is when a person is able to ask dumb questions, and those dumb questions is not answered in a dumb way. Number four is belonging drives performance. So that means when you think about team, we can potentially look into measurements. That's of course, but I think that when we're able to really show that that person, that activity, that task really matters in a bigger picture, that creates a lot of belonging. And that belonging really allows people to have purpose to work harder to make sure that that project is finished. I think that when we do not have that belonging, when we just do our work separated from everyone else, at that moment I think that people give 20% of their effort just to do the work, just barely finish the work because they just do not understand how that aligns in bigger picture. Number five is feedback should build, not break. And I think that could be destructive way to do give feedback or constructive. And I probably that's easy that uh did wrong, do it over. Or we can really constructively a good start. Here's how we can tweak it. This is what we're able to improve it. But again, be able to really acknowledge it as a good start. I think that when we do not acknowledge that it's a good start, and people think that it's something is going wrong, I think that could really destroy a person whatsoever. Number six is patience is an investment. Patience as an investment. I think if we from the get go we have that negative biases and maybe not allow that person to run and really build them up in the way and the speed that they want to build, I think that's sometimes we can really push people through the places that they want to go. And at that moment, of course, what happens? Turnover. Turnover of the team. Because I think that's a beautiful thing. When I'm a big, big, big believer in incremental improvements. I have achieved so many great success with a lot of incremental improvements, especially in sports. And I think that's how we're supposed to do sometimes. Because when you really incrementally improve, that means it's get confidence. It's slow, but slow is fast. At the same time, after a while, it becomes so fast that other people not able to catch you. And you're so comfortable in moving that fast because you build that incremental to that level. I think that's very, very important. So that means that the people as well, I think allowing incrementally to grow a person, I think that's is a beautiful thing. Number seven is everyone is a mentor, not just a boss. So that means when you have a team, that means that mentor could be a boss, a leader, a manager, but at the same time, mentor could be a peer. It could be even a person who is theoretically below us, could be a great mentor because every single person has skill sets. Every single person has strengths. So it means that we're able to learn from other person's strengths. Because someone could be amazing strengths. Today, I was going and saw a person playing game, two games, two phones, two games at the same time. I never seen it before. How we can do that? How we can really play two games at the same time? I think that's probably a strength. Being able to have two different sides of the it just for me it doesn't fit in my hand in my head because I'm a one thing only person. When I do one thing, I can focus on one thing and that's it. And I think that's when I thought about it, just the main idea is that every single person has some unique strengths, and of course we're able to learn from them. And number eight, last one that I want to mention is that retention is tied to how people feel. Retention is tied to how people feel. So I think that's when we really bring someone on board in a business, in an environment, in a community, we're able to ask like, how we make them feel, how people feel in this community, how people feel in this team, what, and of course, what I would love to create in this community, what I would love to create in this business, what I would love to create in the company. I think that is a beautiful question because at that point we're able to strive for something and we're able to measure and we ask for feedback how we are doing in this field, what kind of values we want to live by, and do we live by those, or we just have a slogan on the website and that's it, or do we actually live day by day by example? So how do you reflect as well, like how do you treat people? How do you treat people who are joining your team? Because I think that's the words that we use when, especially at the beginning, we can really shrink or expand someone's future. As I said, like when you come with a new idea, and when the new idea you come in, and someone throws the logs on it, and throws big, massive question on it, sometimes could really shrink that idea and shrink that person. So we need to be very, very careful what we say with new teammates, with new employees, with new ideas, just to make sure that we're able to encourage that ideas, encourage that person, not shrink it. So I hope you just choose to win and see you tomorrow.